Kawaki would have
does.
never desired at any point for Himawari to see him that way.
Yeah. But in my opinion, this panel right here is the main reason because he can't imagine Boruto as Boruto anymore. He can only see him as Momoshiki.
Which I'm actually glad you brought this up. So, I don't know if I'll be able to word it. Well, let me just pull up the chapter. So this panel reminded me of something. In this chapter, I do think that they had a bit of a missed opportunity with the Mitsuki scenes. It's a small
Really?
detail and only costs an extra like 4 panel.
You don't say.
Huh?
Man, you should do
What were you
like
gonna
some
say?
video like rewriting Mitsuki around this part or something. Oh, that'd be cool.
Okay. Sorry. I don't just mean that. I meant in this chapter too.
Yeah.
So similar to how Kawaki like this the side by side panels here. So because like the beginning, as you mentioned, it's like a narrative mask. Like Mitsuki's lying to himself, about how he feels about the sun and shit. So I think it would have been good to, on 2 occasions, do something kind of similar to that Kawaki panel where Boruto points out, like, I bet you realized quite a while back he's not your son, no matter how close you stick to him. He refuses to illuminate you. And then Mitsuki says it can't be, that's not possible. Right before then, I think it would have been really good if like Mitsuki in his mind imagines like first Kawaki like smiling at him, and then there's the panel where there's like a shadow cast over him. Like so there's like a sun, he sees like a sun
Yeah.
bright Kawaki, then the next panel is like Kawaki with a shadow cast over him, like he's covered in darkness, and he's like, oh, it can't be, that's not possible. And then um again, Boruto, I forgot which point, but when Boruto says like I'm your son, and he says you're the one who gets to decide what it takes to be your son. If Mitsuki then he imagines himself in Kawaki, but then the next panel is it's Boruto instead because that's deep down Mitsuki knows that Boruto's his son. And then he asks, "Who the hell are you?" Um, that just would have been so much better. These are just it's only 4 panels, but that would have hit so much harder. It's kind of like if you want to compare to Obito when he's saying like he has no regrets and all these things, but then he's imagining himself being Hokage, and Naruto's like points it out, like, why are you imagining yourself being Hokage? You're lying to yourself. You still want that. It's kind of like the same idea with Mitsuki here. Or like Gar in the Konoha Crush arc, where he has the images of Yashimaru in his mind, and internal conflict, blah blah blah. You get the idea.
So
I feel like
let's.
they missed out on that.
I got a lot to say on this, so we're gonna talk about this for a minute now. I think you're
Okay,
going.
I'm gonna start cooking and
Okay.
prepping salads and shit.
All right. So let me just cook for a minute, like for a good minute. I think
Okay.
you're going too far with what a narrative mask is in this sense because I don't think this, and I know this isn't necessarily what you're saying, but I don't think this is a good reflection of Kawaki's narrative mask is him thinking Momoshiki instead of Boruto because he doesn't want to imagine Boruto as Momoshiki. With this panel, I think this is a really good panel because he's not just imagining Momoshiki separate from Boruto.
It's the reverse.
It's the
It's the
combination.
reverse. He wants Yeah, but like I'm not talking about the mass thing in the same sense
I
there.
know, I know.
The comparison is just the literal panels, the side by side of one versus the other. That's the only comparison I'm
Yeah,
making to that scene.
well, yeah, because
You just have
obviously the two
it's the good and
giveaways,
evil.
the two giveaways here, though, but it's not just good and evil. He can't
I know what I'm
imagine
saying is
Boruto as
he sees
Boruto.
the happy Kawaki, then the dark Kawaki,
No,
similar
I
to the
know. I'm not
Boruto
talking
Boruto.
about your Kawaki Mitsuki thing. I'm talking about this specifically. So
Okay.
here, the two giveaways is Momoshiki obviously wouldn't fist bump, and then he wouldn't say bro. And so he's imagining Boruto as Momoshiki. He's not imagining them two separately. So he can't imagine Boruto as Boruto anymore. You can't break this narrative mask. If Boruto beats up Kawaki and it's like, remember me, I'm your brother, you're lying to yourself. There's no possible way to convince Kawaki to imagine him as Boruto. Because anytime he would imagine him as Boruto, he would then imagine him as Borushiki afterwards. because that's just the way his mind's operating as long as Momoshiki is still alive inside Boruto. It's similar to imagining trying to convince Sasuke in part 1 that Itachi is his good older brother without revealing to him the truth. If you're like, yeah, I know that he just wants to test his ability or whatever, but like he's actually like a really cool guy if you get to know him. Like Sasuke, stop lying to yourself. That's your big older brother. Love him because he's your older brother. I know he slaughtered your clan and all, but like he loves you and stuff. Like it's not gonna work out because no matter what, you can't convince Sasuke at that point in time that he is his kind older brother. Anytime he imagines his kind older brother, he would immediately follow it up with his true desire of his just imagining him as the evil Itachi that slaughtered the village. Like Kawaki doesn't want to imagine Borushiki. He wants to imagine Boruto. He's frustrated, seemingly, that he can't, like he's scared almost. Like he says, damn it, immediately after this. He doesn't want Boruto to be Borushiki. He wants Boruto to be Boruto because he loves his brother.
Exactly. He wants Momoshiki to just not be there at all.
Yeah. The problem is that obviously that's as long as Momoshiki is inside Boruto, that can't happen. You can't convince him. There's no getting around him with this. There's no resolve or anything that's going to change his mind as long as this is still the case. Because he doesn't want to be thinking like this in the first place, but he has to. He's essentially forced to. That's just the way his mind's operating right now. But yeah, there's more, I think. But like, that's good enough for
now. I completely agree with everything you said, except for how it's taken the narrative path too far, because that didn't really have to do with the Mitsuki thing. But otherwise, I agree.
Well, yeah, I know. I wasn't relating it to the Mitsuki thing. I only brought it up because you used the word narrative mask before you got to the Mitsuki thing. It was like a segue to it.
Why did you say I was taking it too far?
Well, because it was like a segue to it, but you had to bridge the gap, meaning there was 2 ends to the bridge. The Mitsuki thing was the first end, but like the second end was like this. It doesn't apply here.
Okay. Whatever works, but yeah. Which makes it interesting to say, like, what is Boruto gonna do to actually convince him? What is he planning to do?
Well, I don't think he can. I think the only way is just getting rid of Momoshiki.
Yeah. Do you think he's just gonna fail?
As long as he has Momoshiki, he has to fail, yeah. Based on this. Because again, if Boruto does talk no jutsu on him, you're lying to yourself. I'm gonna remove that mask. So say something that like Naruto would say. Like, I'm your big older brother, remember? Like, he says, right, bro? He can't just do that. Because Kawaki is just going to remember Borushiki. Like, that's just... It's beyond the fact that he's thinking of Momoshiki. Because he's ingraining Momoshiki into Boruto as a brother.
He's not seeing and he's also not seeing like the Momoshiki actual Momoshiki. It's Borushiki, which is the combo that gets the 2 of them together.
Yeah, so they're essentially fused together. So it's not just Boruto, it's his brother is Momoshiki. Specifically.
Yeah.
Because he's not just imagining Boruto.
Momoshiki's my bro.
He's imagining Boruto specifically being his brother at this moment. Like, the point here isn't to imagine Boruto specifically. It's to imagine his brother. And so if Boruto tries to talk no jutsu him by being like, you're my brother, well, he's just gonna know Borushiki's. Like, he's already fused the 2 in his mind. They're one and the same, and he hates that. He literally explains the fact that why does it have to be him?
And the other thing is, like, Boruto beating up Kawaki at this point, I don't think would even work. I think he would just want to get stronger. I don't think it would motivate him in the right way. It's not the same as Sasuke at the end of Shippuden, where that worked. Because if Naruto beat him up, he metaphorically beat Sasuke in the Chunin exams, Konoha Crush, by beating Gaara. Sasuke felt inferior there, all that did was drive him mad at that time. I think that would be the same here. Or when in the war arc, when he saw Naruto being stronger with the Bijuu Sage mode, Sasuke wasn't just like, damn, I'm gonna change my mind yet. Like, he got motivated. Like,
yeah, I mean,
it took a lot.
Kawaki loves Boruto as his brother. So he hates Momoshiki more than any other Otsutsuki, not just because of Naruto, but because Momoshiki took away Boruto as his brother from him. The value he derives from Boruto being his brother isn't some physical thing. It's the mental value, like a spiritual value he gets from Boruto being his brother. Like, just knowing that's the case, and the comfort, happiness, familiarity, warmth, whatever comes with that, it's removed now in place. It's been replaced by this idea of a Momoshiki. He's lost that because of Momoshiki. In another sense, Momoshiki stripped that from him. Momoshiki stole it. He took it from Kawaki.
Yeah. Momoshiki took everything from Kawaki, not Boruto.
It's always been Kawaki's prophecy.
Yeah, the prophecy wrong.
Yeah. When he said those blue eyes will take everything away from you, the "you" was in reference to Kawaki.
Yeah. Literally, bro. Like, what's going on here?
Oh god. Okay.
The prophecy, those blue eyes shall eventually take everything from him.
That'd be unironically
Like,
just as good as the prophecy. Like, that'd be just as cool.
Yeah, like, you're gonna take everything from someone else. Like, that works.
Yeah.
It's still mysterious because Boruto wonders who he will be ruining the life of.
Yeah.
Although in this case, the prophecy still needs to change because the current one doesn't really work for that either.
Well, for here, I think it's like I agree, but like going back to what I was saying, I think he doesn't feel bad about killing Momoshiki, which means he doesn't feel bad about killing Boruto because he sees them as the same thing right now. And so it's almost like he's already grieved, not grieved, but like he's already accepted the fact that Boruto's just gone, which that's a tragedy, but that's already happened. So he's already moved on. So he only sees Boruto as Momoshiki now, which means he'll happily kill Boruto. If anything, again, just like to set his brother free, almost like vengeance, almost like he sees Boruto in the same way Sasuke sees his dead clan. He's going to avenge the Uchiha. Kawaki is going to avenge Boruto by killing Boruto by killing Momoshiki.
Yeah, like,
I mean, it's kind of similar to Sasuke even in that case. He's going to avenge the Uchiha by killing the only other Uchiha. Regardless if it's the one that murdered his clan. It's still the only, like, he's going to avenge his clan by murdering his clan.
Yeah, that actually does work pretty similarly. He'll avenge Boruto by killing Boruto.